What's good, everyone? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE News. Today we have some awesome information for you guys because we're going to be talking about this Chrono Trigger style RPG called Another Eden. And now I know I already discussed this game, but guys, there's some more information that I've learned about it, and I think this is going to be a little bit bigger in terms of what Nintendo fans want in an RPG with some of the people that have worked on this. We also have Dark Souls information and the online beta that's going to be going on for the Switch version of the game. Then also RollerCoaster Tycoon. There's some information with that, with apparently a big reveal at E3. So let's go ahead and get right into this. And we are starting off with an RPG, Another Eden, with the whole cat time space, whatever the case is with its long name, but most people just call it Another Eden. So I talked about this game. This is a side-scrolling RPG that at the time that I reported on it really reminded me of Chrono Trigger, but that's for good reason, guys, because I've read up on this game a little bit more, and this game is actually from the writer who worked on Chrono Trigger, one of the writers, and his name is Masato Kato, and then also the composer Yasunori Mitsuda from Xenogears and the Chrono series, in addition to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, also helped compose tracks for this game. So you have a little bit of a Chrono Trigger dream team working on this game, Another Eden. And this was a smartphone game that came out a couple of years ago. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this again too is because there was a lot of people in my comment section saying another smartphone game, but I don't think they realize who was working on this game and why you should be excited for it. I've also looked at some more gameplay, and it's definitely reminiscent of Chrono Trigger. You have a frog in there, so there's a lot of similarities, but it is from the person who worked on the Chrono series, Xenogears, in terms of the music and stuff like that. So I do think that this game has a lot of potential. And just to kind of go over exactly, so the development started in early 2015 for this game, but then was ultimately delayed in terms of when it was supposed to launch. It was supposed to come out in 2016 for mobile phones and all that. Then it got delayed to get some extra polish on it. Then it ended up coming out in 2017. Now for the 1-year anniversary, which was recently, that's why they decided to announce the Nintendo Switch version. They don't have a release date, and there wasn't really any information outside of that. Now remember, this game is one of those gacha style games to where you can purchase like random like loot crates or whatever the case is, or random pickups, and that might get you like a secret weapon, or might get you a new item, or might get you something like that that you can use, that you can put into your party. But I think the Nintendo Switch version is definitely going to be different from that in terms of what they do. The free-to-play model isn't necessarily explored much on the Nintendo Switch. There isn't many things on there that use that, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to become some type of digital release for $20 or maybe $30 for even a physical release. Now there is voice acting in the game, but it's somewhat partial, I guess, but maybe they're going to revamp that for the Nintendo Switch release of it. But even if it didn't have it, I'd be completely fine with that too. But this does look pretty cool. I mean, you got a guy that's worked on games such as Chrono Cross, Xenogears, and Chrono Trigger. You've got my attention, and I didn't know that beforehand, but my intuition about this game was really good, because I was like, yo, this reminds me of Chrono Trigger, and that's exactly what was happening there. And that's pretty much exactly what this game can be reminiscent of. There's the time travel, you have the silent but strong main character, you even have a girl that looks like Isla in there, the cave woman and everything. So to me, that's completely fine. This is from people who made the original game, and while it's kind of sad that a developer of this quality has been reduced in terms of like a writer to be making smartphone and mobile games, that he's not doing his own thing for a little bit bigger of a studio in order to get some games out, that's okay, because with the Nintendo Switch you can get some of these mobile games over, you can spruce them up, you can add in new content, you can make them not free to play, you can take out all the things that people hate about mobile, you can add physical button controls, and you can get a quality game out there, because the mobile phones are getting stronger and stronger, the CPUs and the GPUs are getting stronger and stronger, and a lot of games are actually looking really good and employing a lot of techniques that you see in modern day games on consoles. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what other games come over, because this is really just the start, in my opinion, when it comes to Nintendo Switch. You're going to see more games come over, and I think this game, Another Eden, is actually going to do really well once people start realizing who's behind this game and kind of the quality content that you're going to get in this game. Because from everything that I've watched, because I watched another 2 hours of gameplay or so while I was editing a previous video, and I was like, okay, this game's actually looking pretty good, and it has some pretty good reviews as well from users. So what do you guys think about this title, Another Eden? Are you guys a little bit more excited for it now that you know who's working on the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, now moving into the next topic here, we have Dark Souls Remastered. Now the network test that was announced, you guys remember that, to where you're going to be able to hop in there with some online and you're going to be able to battle out against anybody online. Well, that's still happening on the Nintendo Switch. Some people thought that that was going to be gone because the Nintendo Switch version was delayed, but that is not the case. It will still launch, but it will be closer to the new release date, which is not announced yet. And I also want to talk about some of the rumors going around with the release date and all that. So let's go ahead and get into some of the content here. So Bandai Namco did delay Dark Souls, we do know that, remastered on the Nintendo Switch. However, there still will be a network test. Now this was revealed via Twitter when a user asked Bandai Namco, or actually the official Dark Souls Twitter account, if there's still going to be one. So here's what they had to say. What about the network test? Will that still happen on Nintendo Switch at the same time? And here's what the Dark Souls official Twitter account said. We will test the server performance of the Nintendo Switch version apart from the others and at a time closer to the Nintendo Switch release. We will announce the dates when they are available. So there you go. So they're still going to have that network test for the Nintendo Switch. It's just going to come closer to when the game is going to launch, which makes sense. If they were working on some other things when it comes to the Nintendo Switch version, maybe it was performance in some areas and all that, you're not going to want to test the servers right at this point, and I just don't think it really works right now in terms of what they're trying to do and what they're going for. You're going to have to finish the game or get it to where you need to get it to and then test it out as far as how you're going to progress from there. So I get it and I understand, and I think a lot of the outrage has kind of just died down a little bit. Some people were really mad about that, but they're like, okay, well, there is this game, this game, this game, this game, and this game coming out in May, especially May. May is crazy because it has the Mega Man Legacy Collection in addition to the Street Fighter Collection. So there's a lot of content right then and there. And there's also other games. There's Donkey Kong, there's Hyrule Warriors. I mean, there's a lot of other games too. So, and even this month, you have Naruto and you have South Park both dropping next week as well, which I'm going to be playing those. And then God of War is dropping. Then you also have the Horizon Zero Dawn's on sale. Got that for 30 bucks at Best Buy. So there's just a lot of great gaming across the industry. It doesn't matter if you just talk about Switch, PS4, Xbox One, whatever the case is. There's a lot of cool games, first and third party, all dropping pretty soon here. And I do want to briefly talk about the whole rumored release date. Apparently Amazon, like IT, listed it for September, and I had people saying, oh, well, there you go, September. Oh, I know he was like, hey, I think it's going to be delayed for the servers for Nintendo's online or whatever the case is. I don't think it's going to go that far, but I mean, it definitely could. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think it's going to last that long in terms of the delay, but it could. But Amazon IT, in terms of them knowing the date, I think they just put the last like month of summer pretty much, because that's when Dark Souls, or that's when the developer said, hey, it's going to launch in the summer now at this point. I think they just put a placeholder for summer, you know, which would be the last possible time. I don't think it has any connection to what Nintendo's doing, but then again, maybe it does. I'm not really sure. So anyway, what do you guys think about all this when it comes to Dark Souls, the network test, what's going on there, the delay? When do you guys think it's going to drop? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the last topic here. We got RollerCoaster Tycoon Switch's next big reveal is planned for E3 2018. So you guys ever seen a dumpster fire? Well, that's pretty much what this was when people first found out about what's going on here with Atari and everything. People just raged and everything, and then once everyone stopped raging or whatever the case was, everyone said, okay, here's my money. There's people just plopping down money, investing in this thing. There's all sorts of stuff going on. I'm not even sure. You guys can check out John from Spawnwave. He did a video on it. Other people did. I was confused on what's even going on with this whole thing and what you have to invest to what you get and what's going on. I mean, there was just so much stupidity. Too much for me to even say I'm even interested in this. Which RollerCoaster Tycoon I have played before. Like, I've played the old school ones like on PC that come on those like little crappy discs. Like, I've played it before. I thought it was a cool game back in the day. So this one actually piqued my interest until I start hearing about all the crazy stuff that's going on with the Kickstarter and how they're trying to fund it and they can already afford it and it's going to happen no matter what. And then the investment, I was just like, I'm good. But anyway, aside from all of that, there is some information on RollerCoaster Tycoon. They have the next big reveal, which is planned for E3 because the original reveal didn't go so well. It was first shown off in March and GDC back in March, and yes, there will be some hands-on at E3 2018 with a big reveal. And now Atari also said that the Start Engine campaign for RollerCoaster Tycoon Switch has been closed, so development is on track and a release is planned for this holiday. So there you go, everything is all set and ready to go when it comes to RollerCoaster Tycoon. They have a big reveal plan, hopefully a lot of improvements. A lot of people were saying that the game was not running well, so a lot of improvements to be made. Obviously they wanted to have a proof of concept up for gamers out there, so they would invest, and it's probably going to be a little rougher on the edges. It's probably going to be a little rougher on the edges when you're just starting up. I don't think this is a game that you develop for like 3 years or 4 years. This is like a year and a half type of project, so they were probably early into it. That's why it didn't look so good, and that's why the performance didn't look so good. And I think by the end of the year, hopefully they will have all the cool stuff that they want to get in. They've had a successful Kickstarter, people are backing it. Let's just hope that they go through with what they're talking talking about here, because RollerCoaster Tycoon is good. When done well, it's actually really cool. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a fun little game to play. You know, it's one of those games to where you could play it like Sim City or some of the other games back in the day. It's fun. It can be a time waster, or it can be something that you're heavily invested into. So that's what I like about it. And it's coming to Nintendo Switch exclusive. So another exclusive is always good, or at least just more games are always good from third-party developers. So I'm not going to hate on it too much until I find out more about it. This big reveal at E3, they're hyping that up, so I think they have to deliver with this one. I need to see a game that's running well. We need to see what's going on with all the stuff that you can do in there, the extra content, all that stuff's got to be there if you're talking about a big reveal. So make it happen, Atari, make it happen. And I think people will change their minds about this game. So what do you guys think about RollerCoaster Tycoon in addition to Dark Souls and also Another Eden, this Chrono Trigger style RPG? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship, and also PE Arena, where we play games as a community for up to 3 hours on Saturday that the users organize on the Discord as well. So it's a ton of fun. Check out the link in the description below for more details. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for its RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace!